Hello there, everybody. Had an idea today to do a video about some generators and talk about some different features and some different thoughts I had on. We had a storm system roll through here about a month and a half ago. Over the course of a weekend, we got two major storms come through, and a lot of the people in my area were without power for about a week. And just now getting around to servicing my generators and putting them back away. I thought I'd do a quick video here before I did that, and hopefully help some people change their mind about owning a generator. Like I said, a lot of people were without power for about a week, and I just happened to have a few generators here and was loaning them out to different people that were in need, and kind of learned a lot about people and where their head is at. And I was really hoping that some people would change their mind, but you know, because they really needed one in that situation, and I don't think they're going to go buy one. So, but we'll be happy to help them out again next time. No problem here. That's why I do this. It's all about, you know, taking care of yourself and helping other people. You may not think you need one, but a generator is the type of thing you don't need it until you really absolutely need it. And a lot of times by then it can be too late. There was people up by me driving 150 miles to go buy a generator, and some places they couldn't be had at any price. So when you need one, you'll wish you had one. And there's a generator for everybody at every different price point and size and decibels and everything. So I hope to convince you to go buy one for when you need it, even if you live in an apartment. This little Honda here would be a good thing for you. It's not huge, but it's going to be big enough to run your refrigerator, keep your lights on, and run a bunch of little things. You're not going to run a lot, but it's quite quiet. It's very quiet. I'll show you the front of it here. We can talk about some of the different features on this thing. Oops, better get her straight. There we go. This would be the perfect size generator if you're just a single person and maybe you have a medical device you need to power, like a CPAP, an oxygen machine. Maybe you are diabetic and need to keep your insulin cold. You know, I don't know how long insulin lasts once it's warmed up and if the fridge gets warm, but you know, theoretically something like this could keep you alive. And perfect size for the apartment dweller because it's nice and quiet. So this is a 2000 watt, which would be the peak wattage. Continuous wattage would be about 1600. And that means when things first start up, like a refrigerator, the wattage peaks. So if you're 1600 watt, well, actually a refrigerator probably runs around 800 watts, right around there. But when it starts up, it may peak up to, you know, 1800 watts, something like that. So you have to consider that, you know, everything you want to run when looking at generators. Right here you got it's called an eco throttle. Flip it on and off. When it's off, the generator will just run wide open. When it's on, it has a self-adjusting idle in it, to where it'll only run fast enough based on the load of what you put on it. So if you're just running some lamps and a radio, it's going to power way down. The idle's going to come way down. It's going to get really quiet, and your gas is going to last a lot longer. So that's pretty handy. The Honda feature is pretty unique here. It has a set of parallel cables you can buy and hook two of these things together, and then the power gets exponentially higher. I don't have that. I really don't need it. You got some alarm lights here if there's a problem. Little circuit reset. Two 110 outlets. Basically plug in extension cords, run them inside your house. You don't ever run a generator inside your house. You'll likely kill yourself. We don't want that. This also has a nice feature. They sell a plug you can plug right into here for 12 volt. So there's a couple different ways you could do it. You could hook this right up to a dead car battery, charge your car battery right from this generator. It's called an inverter generator. That feature is. or you could, you know, charge your cell phones. You do all kinds of things with that. It's pretty handy. Now this little Honda here, I've had it for 10 years. It cost me, I think at the time, $9.99. They aren't cheap, but I love this little thing. I use it all the time. You know, I charge a lot of car batteries, so I'll grab this and then grab my battery charger and you know, get a car started, or you know, if you need to go camping, perfect generator for camping. And you don't have to buy a Honda. You can get an off-brand. They're considerably cheaper. I do not regret buying this, spending the extra money, because this thing is just wonderful. Very pleased with it. It's got a small gas tank. At idle, it'll run, I don't know, a little over 6 to 8 hours, depending on the load you're putting on it. And doggone easy to service. With any generator, before you store them, you should drain the gas out of the carburetor. Keeps everything from gumming up. And if you have generators, pull them out at least twice a year and start them up and run them. They need to be run. It's good for them. So we'll move on to the next generator here right now. This is a ProForce. Napa was selling these for a while in their stores. I don't know if it was their store brand or what, but this is a pretty handy generator. It's pull start only. There's no electric start. 3,000 running watts, 3750 for peak wattage. You're going to run a lot more in your house on this thing. You'll run your refrigerator, freezer, all your lighting, television, internet, all that kind of stuff. You got to understand about electricity. Anything that makes heat is going to take a lot of power. So your electric dryer, microwave, coffee pot, things like that take a considerable amount of power. So you won't run them all at once on here, but this is a darn good one. We loaned this out to a good friend of ours, and they were very grateful to have it. And it's a little louder. It's really not bad. It won't bother your neighbors. So here you got 4 110 plugs, which is pretty handy. You got some resets here for the circuits. It can also run 220. So to switch it, all you do is flip that lever and you're running 220. I originally bought this from a friend of mine. I paid $300 for it, brand new in the box. He bought it and decided he didn't have a use for it. So, but I see these things on sale all the time. Not necessarily this brand, but like a store brand or an off brand at your local hardware stores. You can pick them up for, you know, as cheap as $140. So that's a no-brainer. You know, how can you not? You take care of your family, or, you know, all your obligations for $140. It's just a pittance to pay. Also has a little 12-volt plug here. Pretty handy. It's got a 4-gallon gas tank. And I'm not exactly sure how long it can run. I've never run it out of gas, but it's 10 plus hours. It doesn't have that eco throttle on it where it'll throttle down. It's just wide open or nothing at all. But it's really a good cost-effective solution to a problem. It's this little Honda here is, I don't know, 30-40 pounds. They're a little heavy. They're not bad. You can pick it up like a suitcase. There's a handle. Carry it around. This one's a little heavier. It's got some handles here, and it's on wheels. I can pick it on. I'm doing this on the tailgate of my pickup here because it's easier than doing it on the ground. But I can pick it on and off the tailgate by myself. But I'm a bigger, stronger guy. But my wife can about do it by herself, and she's a tiny little thing, so it's not that bad. Really happy with it. It's served its purpose. You know, related to trucking, you know, if you're looking to strap a gas generator on the side of your truck to run your block heater, this will get it done. I've tried that with the Honda. It's just not quite big enough to run that block heater. It trips it out. My block heater takes, it's like 1800 watts, I believe, and that's just a little bit too much for this Honda. Your block heater may be different, so maybe it would be a good solution for you. You'll have to figure that out for yourself. But next over here, we're gonna go a little bigger yet. This is a Generac GP8000E. And the E means electric start. It's got this little button here. You just hold it down and she'll start up. It's got weatherproof plugs, which is really nice. You can sit out in the weather and it won't hurt it a bit. Here's your 220 plug. You got breaker. You know, trips here for your circuits. This has a 10-gallon gas tank, and I was told we loaned this out to a relative during the storms that had the day before the power went out. They had just bought half a beef from a local farmer, so they had a good deal invested in that. And then, oh crap, the power's out for a week. So we took this to them, and it did the job really well. You know, so this was what did I pay for this? $8.99 at a local hardware store. Generac is a really good brand, made in the USA, made in Wisconsin, so you can't go wrong there. They make a good generator. 10-gallon gas tank. I think he said they didn't quite fill it up, but it went like 16 hours before he had to put gas in it. Now this thing is loud. It will, you'll know it's running. Unfortunately, because it's a really good generator, I'm sad to say that it's so loud. Oh, this is 8,000 running watts. They'll do 10,000 starting watts. I didn't see that before. Okay. Now with this thing, if you're looking for a whole house solution, but don't want to pay the full ticket of a standby generator, this will do it. It's heavy, so you want to park it somewhere and leave it. I would cover it up if you're going to leave it outside. Keep it out of the elements is better for it. But you could have an electrician come and wire a plug to the outside of your house, you know, and run it to have them run it to a switch in the basement. So if your power's out, you just go down there, flip that switch, cut your main power so you're not back feeding the power lines, and turn this on, plug this into the switch on the outlet on the side of your house. Really good whole house solution. It's plenty big. You'll run everything you want to run. You're not going to run your whole house at once, but you don't do that anyway. You don't run every doggone thing at one time. And your life will go on as it was before, other than you're going to have this loud generator running. Now you can get quieter ones. They do make something like this, Generac does, in a lower RPM. It's a little more expensive, but if that's a big deal to you, or if you have neighbors close by, or neighbors that are grumpy or whatever, might be a better solution. But tell you what, if the power goes out, you got a generator like this, get yourself a couple 100 feet of extension cord and run it over to your neighbor's house. Let them charge your phones, let them watch movies, run their lights, run their refrigerator. You got the equipment for it, and that's a good way to mitigate complaints, you know, from your neighbor about noise or whatever. They might actually appreciate it. You'll change their mind a little bit. So yes, I have a lot of money tied up in generators here, but I use them, and I'm glad to have them. And once you have them and they're paid for, why would you get rid of them? That's another thing. After the storms and everything was back to normal, these people that went and bought generators, you see them for sale on Craigslist. It's like, why are you selling it? It's paid for. You're gonna need it again. This is gonna happen again in your life. So why do you want to go through all that struggle again? You bought it for a reason, to take care of your family or to solve a problem. Like I said, if you depend on electricity, don't get caught with your pants down. A really good exercise would be someday to come home from work on a Friday night and have dinner and whatever, then go kill your power, shut the breaker box off, and live without power for at least till Saturday night or even Sunday night. You'll learn really quickly what your needs are, and then you can address them accordingly. The last generator I'm going to talk about here is the ultimate solution here for your house if you want to go the extra mile to make sure that your lifestyle is never interrupted. You can go with a standby generator. It's a Generac also. Like I said, they make good generators. It's an 11 kilowatt. It's a dual fuel. It can run on natural gas or propane. We happen to not have natural gas here. We're not on the city gas, so I have it plumbed into LP tank, 1,000 gallons. So that'll run be good for a month, pretty much, of continuous usage. Sits outside here, so to keep the mice out, stuff some steel wool in the corners, keeps the mice out and still lets air through. I didn't know at the time, but didn't necessarily need one quite this big. An 8 kilowatt probably would have been plenty good. But you can see it's quite the little motor and setup down in here. You know, it gives you it's got a status screen here, tell you what the hours are, and the green light means you're all good to go. And from the outside, you know, if you're standing a ways away, it's got this panel here and it's got a little green light in it. Probably can't see that on the camera, but if the light turns yellow, you know it needs to be serviced or you got an issue. And when the power goes out, we live in the country, so the power does go out occasionally. You really don't even notice. After 10 seconds, it senses that the power is out, and it goes to an automatic switch and fires this thing up, and you got power again. It's really not all that loud. It was a little pricey. It was several $1,000s, but I didn't mind spending the extra money. I had it at the time. Like I said, 8 kilowatts probably would have been plenty. I didn't know that at the time, but it's pretty handy. You service it once a year, and that's all you really have to do. It does everything else on its own. It needs to be hard plumbed with the gas line. It does need to be installed by a professional. You don't want to do this yourself, because if you screw up and burn your house down, your insurance company is probably going to call you stupid, and we don't pay for stupid. Yeah, and then it's not done right, and you're going to have to pay to redo it. So there's a gas line and electric lines there. And then I'll show you the transfer switch here. Bear with me a second. Now this is the transfer switch coming from the outside. It goes to here, main breaker box. It will cut the power here for the main breaker. Always need to have that, because you don't need to backfeed a power line and kill a person that's out just trying to do their job getting the power back on. They're connected here, so there's a little switch in here that'll trip, go and power your whole house. It's all automatic. Now once every Friday, this thing here will fire up and run a test run on itself to make sure all systems are good. That's really all there is to it. So yeah, like I said, it takes about 10 seconds and your life is back to normal again. A lot of times it won't even make your digital clocks flash. They won't lose the time in that. So anyway, if you're thinking about getting a generator, I hope that helped. I just thought with the recent storms and with the hurricane coming in Florida that people should really have these things thought out ahead of time. Makes your life a whole lot simple, because like I said, when the storms were through here, a generator couldn't really be had. You know, I had 4 generators here, and this one was working here, and 3 of them I had lent out to other people. They were very grateful, and it was nice to be able to help somebody out when they needed it. So anyways, I hope that was informative and helped you make a decision on which generator you need to buy if you are looking to buy one. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, turn on notifications, and we'll see you again next video.